Out here, it's not about the destination. It's about the drive. 5 friends, bound by a lifetime of stories, taking on the Kansas marshlands with nothing but grit, gear, and a dream of ducks. This isn't your average hunting trip. This is a test of friendship, a testament to who you are when the ducks don't show and the plan falls apart. Eric, the pro golfer. Brooks, the party. Jax, the musician, bartender. Grayson, the wild card. Because out here, it's not just about the ducks you bring home. It's about the stories you bring back.
Been trying to heal myself from all the bad, and you're putting me through hell.
Before we dive into the hunt, let's take a step back to where it all began. This is more than just a group of friends on a trip. This is about lifelong bonds and where we come from. 256, the area code of Russellville, Alabama, our hometown. We all grew up together, playing football under the Friday night lights and baseball on hot summer afternoons. From the start, it was always the same crew, side by side. When we weren't on the field, you could find us out in the woods, hunting, riding four-wheelers, or knee-deep in mud. Usually doing something we thought was a great idea at the time. But looking back, it was just plain stupid fun. Hanging out wasn't just a weekend thing, it was every day. Whether we were grilling out, fishing, or just talking about nothing, it was always about being together. Fast forward to now, and not much has changed. Sure, life's a little busier with college and everything else. But when we're together, it's like no time has passed. The same jokes, the same stories, the same crew. The day before the crew loaded up for their Kansas adventure, they decided to break in the new year with a little warm-up session, shooting clays under the crisp winter sky. A practice session, they called it. Though, let's be honest, these boys didn't need it. The clay pigeons didn't stand a chance, and neither did the ducks. Or so they think.
How was your night last night?
I didn't drink very much, and I went to bed at, I'm going to say early compared to everybody else, and it was 2-something. So I'm feeling pretty good, but you're going to have to take that up with everybody.
Eric, how you feeling this morning?
Not too bad, really.
Everybody else did not indeed feel too good this morning. Then we proceeded to drive 10 hours from Alabama to Kansas.
So we hunted this really cool little island. We saw one duck, and nobody shot at it. Nobody was ready. Nobody had a gun up. Nothing.
I think me and Grace are the only two that saw it.
I could have jumped and grabbed it.
Like it was literally, you could hear, and we both turned around. Yeah, like somebody had a gun, they could have killed it easily. But it was only one day.
Absolutely, could have.
First day wasn't the best though. It was
wasn't
fun.
too cold.
Wasn't too cold.
It was like 28, 30 degrees, something like that. Had a south wind, which is pretty tough to hunt. We don't have anything set up for a south wind because we're used to a north wind, so we had to kind of
make do. It's what we had.
Hunting and kind of just set up that morning. Didn't really prepare like we needed to. We weren't hidden very well, but it didn't matter because we didn't see anything. So
got in at 11 o'clock.
It did, but it didn't help that we got in at 11 o'clock.
Got in at 11 o'clock the night before.
If you want to count all of our sleep schedule, we probably had 2 or 3 hours of sleep the night before, and then
Combined.
4 or 5 hours the next night. So it was
Rough couple of days.
we had to make do what we had.
The next evening, we pulled out the redneck blinds and
Shot redneck blind.
Sponsor? That was good.
shot them out.
Sponsor by
Pulled out the
Redneck.
redneck blinds, brushed them in. Had a great evening hunt. Saw absolutely nothing, but we found a more comfortable way to hunt and had some good laughs.
Yeah, I forgot about
It was fun though. It's a good time.
it. Great time. Second hunt, which would have been this morning, was a little better, a little cooler. Had a nice little setup, nice spread out in the water.
We saw
Just didn't
8 ducks.
We saw 8 ducks, but those migrating
We saw
south.
8 times more ducks than we did yesterday.
It just couldn't get
8 times.
couldn't really get a shot on them.
It was a mile away.
There was about a mile in the sky,
They never looked at us.
and they never looked at us.
Now there was 6 calls going at them, but they never looked.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If y'all watching this video, if I call a duck, somebody should go another way.
To be honest with y'all, I didn't touch my call. I knew better.
I don't think I touched mine next week, but I did that. And evening hunt was probably better than the morning hunt, just because everybody laughed, everybody slept.
I didn't sleep.
Got a creak in your neck by sleeping.
I did sleep. I slept for an hour and a half.
I think I slept for 10 minutes till I about choked on my own damn saliva.
That's so funny.
Me and Roe, the cameraman, are in a mid-conversation. Supposedly I fell asleep in the conversation.
You did.
He said, man, I can take a nap.
And then he was like, I was like, Brooks, Brooks.
15 minutes later,
Fun fact.
I woke up.
Y'all laughing at that actually woke me up.
I was cackling.
And I'm in a completely different blind, like 15, 20 yards away.
I was tired, and I fell asleep for like 10 minutes. And I didn't even know I fell asleep till I woke up. And I was laughing at me, and I was like, what are y'all laughing at? And like, you just fell asleep.
Bring us some ducks.
Eric's been on and not pulled the trigger.
Eric,
Shot one time in 5 duck hunts.
Eric, you just wasted your money buying shells, son.
We do want to go to Bowling, Kansas. This is going to be a big one.
Day 5 started with high hopes, but the storm on the horizon was the real story. In the morning, we spotted one group of birds far off in the distance. They flew south, avoiding both us and the coming snow, as if they knew what we were about to face. The birds weren't stopping, and soon neither were we. With a massive winter storm bearing down, the hunt took a back seat to preparation. We secured our camp, braced for the cold, and leaned into the challenge nature threw our way. Sometimes it's not about what you hunt, but what you endure together. The storm was coming, and so was tomorrow. But for now, we stood ready, united by the wild and the bond we share.
It's kind of hard to hold the store open to do this. I hope we don't end up in the pond.
Yeah, me too. That'd be bad.
You look like you cold. Yeah. Have the water not hold us up. Happy day.
The big ice and snowstorm rolled in overnight, turning our hunting grounds into a winter wonderland, and a frozen one at that. It was cold, miserable, and honestly, kind of awesome. We sat there, freezing our asses off, scanning the skies for any sign of movement. And finally, we saw it. 2 groups of birds. Our hopes shot up. But of course, they had other plans and landed out in the middle of the big lake, just out of reach. After a few hours of nothing but cold toes and frozen gear, we made the call. It wasn't our day, and honestly, no amount of ducks would have been worth staying out there much longer.
Sister accidentally
said your name. Hung up the phone, tried to ease the pain.
But just because the hunt was over didn't mean the adventure had to be. We decided to take the truck out and test our luck on the frozen roads. Sliding around corners, spinning out, probably not the smartest thing we've ever done, but man, was it fun.
Trying to fix the messes they made in court. Everyone's in the same damn boat. Walking through life trying to fight our ghosts. I got more hope in a bottle than I do myself.
I'll come up here. It's over here. It's sideways.
This is where the story of this trip ends. But the story of 256 hunts is just getting started. Sure, we didn't fill the truck with ducks this time around, but what we did fill was a weekend with laughter, memories, and a bond that's as strong as ever. It's not about what we brought home, it's about who we shared the blind with. Freezing our asses off together, telling stories, and just being us. There's no group of guys I'd rather not kill ducks with. So, here's to the next trip, the next hunt, and the next chapter for 256 hunts. Because no matter how the hunt goes, we'll always have the stories. And that's what it's really all about.